I just didn't quit. That's the only distinguishing quality from me and probably whoever else going through this or went through this or is gonna go through this, is that I ain't quit. I went through every emotion. I went through every emotion with trying to pursue what I'm doing. You know what I mean? And I think that what's gonna separate whoever's gonna try to go for something is that you ain't gonna quit.
So what is dropshipping? Dropshipping is when you sell a product that you've never in your life touched, you've never bought any inventory, you've never held any inventory, you don't have to package the product, you don't have to do anything of that nature. Dropshipping allows you to find a product, market it however you want, market it at scale, and you take that information and you give the order information over to your supplier, and your supplier ships all that stuff out. Typically, they have e-packet if they're shipping from China, and that can be free. And I know everybody's profit driven, and that sounds great that they're shipping for free. You get more profit margin. Kicker on that one right there is that while you're shipping that product's going to take maybe a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks to land. And what customer nowadays in 2019 really wants to wait 2 or 3 weeks for a product? They want their product now. They want their product to be at their door within 24, 48 hours, or you're going to be dealing with a lot of customer service issues. That can be multiple emails, that can be emails just comfort them saying, hey, your money's all right, we're a legit business, or that can be a chargeback, and a chargeback comes with a $15 fee upon every order, and you're probably already shipped the order, so you're going to lose out two ways. So drop shipping has its pros, it has its cons. For me personally, what I found with drop shipping is that drop shipping is good. Drop shipping is good to test a product, and when you really find the products that are scalable and really what people would call winners, you take that product and then you double down on that and you private label it, you make a brand for it. You definitely know it definitely has to be a product that you can see has long-term growth. But at the end of the day, that's how you double down on that, because when you private label, you make a brand, you make more longevity, you can bring in more products that are similar to that product, and have your upsells, your cross sales, and things of that nature. But it's basically, when you're private labeling, you're making a funnel that's a lot cleaner and just easier. It's just, instead of a general store that has 1,000,001 type of products, or a general niche store that has products similar in nature to a degree. I highly recommend private labeling. I think there's a lot more scalability because you have so many different ways with different sales channels. You can go with a private label product, you can go to Amazon fulfillment, you can do literally get these things in stores, distribution deals. There's so many ways. It's amazing what you can do. I mean, nowadays with the internet, there's so many different things you can do. I mean, if you got a question, there's an answer for you 24 hours a day. There's no reason why you don't have an answer for it. You can't figure out how to make this image fit into your website and it's not mobile friendly. Well, Google it. I mean, there's about 15, 20, 30,000 pages that probably give you the answer, and then you take that answer and you work on it, you build on it. You definitely got to have the time and the energy set to the side. If you don't have that, what do you have? I mean, results really are dependent upon you and what you put in. When I first got into drop shipping or internet marketing, the overall vibe, the overall feel basically is it's like a get rich quick scheme. But internet marketing, Shopify, e-commerce is anything but a get-rich quick scheme. This is a real business that you're running. Anytime you start a store, you've started a real business. It may not be a brick and mortar business, but it's a business. It's a business that operates, that has to comply. It has to have customer service departments. I mean, you got to figure, you wear a lot of hats. You got to do accounting. I mean, you're using an EIN, you're using your social. I mean, you really got to take this as a real business. I don't recommend, and I say this lightly, I don't recommend just bringing anybody into your business that they're friends and family. You really want to make sure the people that you are putting into place have expertise. My experience is you can do business with friends, you can do business with family, but you definitely got to understand at the end of the day that business and family and friendships don't mix. And if you hold a bar high on your business, if you have integrity to your business, there's certain things you do not allow. And friendships and families sometimes ask for that pass on there, and that's the unfortunate thing that, they think they got they got that monopoly card that they can slap on the table and say, hey, I get to do this because so and so. Well, no, you don't. No, it doesn't work that way. But at the end of the day, definitely I recommend, building your own business on your own time, finding the time after you get off work to really just build. I think at the end of the day, all the stuff is right there at your fingertips. Uh, we live in 2019, we're going into 2020, and I don't think any time in the world ever has ever seen the creation of wealth at scale like we're seeing it right now, ever. And that's what I think is the great thing about drop shipping. I think about private labeling, about internet marketing, is that, you can be anybody. You could be an at-home mom. I mean, look at myself. I was fresh out of prison. I've only been out of prison now 4.5 years, and I'm 2.5, basically, to a degree, in on my journey, successful. All the rest before that was learning. Before I really got my hands wet, I had read many different books, whether they were The 4 Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. I studied philosophy for quite a while. Guerrilla marketing. I mean, there's so many different ways, but none of those books, none of those uh, YouTube videos that I've watched, none of that stuff right there, it can even compare with, the on-hands training. I think the kicker for a lot of people is, that they'll start working and building a website, or they'll have a drop shipping site, or they'll have any kind of internet marketing site, and they're not making money right away. They're blowing money on ads, or they've lost $200 in Facebook ads, and that is completely the wrong perspective to have at that. It's so cliches, but it's like Albert Einstein. You just found a different way not to do it. So you've got to keep going back, and you've got to keep polishing. There's so many different areas that you need to work on that really impact the comfort of the customer, to affect the purchase, it's a formula to a degree. You can figure out these formulas. These are like the formulas that got scientists, got people, got man to the moon almost. You figure out these formulas, you implement them, and you be consistent with them, and man, the profits of them are ridiculous. I mean, good Lord, I've had jobs, I've worked jobs, I know what a legit job's like. I mean, but you can never have the amount of cushion or financial cushion or opportunity ever working at a 9 to 5, unless it's a great company, and it truly is a career. If you sell real estate, if you do engineering, if you working smooth, those are great jobs to have. I wouldn't knock any of those. If you love what you're doing, it's a job, 9 to 5, I'm not knocking that. But if you're that person that you're working a 9 to 5, and you're looking for the weekend, you can't wait till it's Friday. Well, definitely a 9 to 5 isn't for you. A 9 to 5 is, a stepping stone for you, and that's what you need to look at a 9 to 5. Like it's a straight stepping stone to get you from one place to the next, and that next place is on you. You've got to keep reaching for it. 2019, 2020, all this stuff is definitely attainable. I don't see what isn't. I mean, if I can get out of prison with book knowledge, and I hadn't touched the computer, I hadn't even touched a smartphone, but I hadn't touched a computer in 11 and a half years. When I got incarcerated, people were still burning CDRs. They were still, there was MIRC, that instant reply chat. MySpace hadn't even came around yet. People were burning CDs, and this when CD burning was just started, and it's when 50 Cent had came out. I got incarcerated in 2003, and it's when 50 Cent started really blowing up. He had that In the Club and all that stuff on the radio. I remember that because there was nowhere you couldn't go that you wouldn't hear 50 Cent. Use that technology. I mean, I always hear people say, oh man, I can't figure out the phone, it's too complicated. Well, you need to figure it out. You need to sit there and play around with it. At the end of the day, you can't break the phone to a degree, so you need to press the buttons. You need to learn that phone. You need to figure out what this does, what that does, and understand it. It's like a controller. It's like if you can sit at home and play Madden 2K, whatever it is, and you can figure out all these plays, Hail Marys, and all that type of stuff, you should be able to figure out how to use your phone to make some money straight up at the end of the day, because there's too many opportunities. If you're using social media just to sit around and kill how many hours a day, think about it. people are making millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars just sitting here using their phone. And then, once again, there's so many different ways. It doesn't have to be internet marketing. It can be Forex. If it's not Forex, it could be, selling your cakes that you bake in your oven at your house. It could be whatever. Once again, the social media has leveled the playing field and allows you directly to your consumer. Think about how many times somebody opens up their phone a day. I mean, you think that's what you want to run a TV commercial? Why? Nobody's watching that. No one. That's not going to convert. Think about how many times people are looking at their phone and get familiar with your brand while you're running these ads. You say you're not making money, but kicker is, how many people are looking at your ads and seeing your brand, and you're getting brand awareness for that. You're getting education for this money that you're not returning right away with your Facebook ads. So, stay encouraged that that's you out there, that you're running these ads and you're not making any money back. You've made an app and it's not bringing any customers yet. Stay encouraged, because at the end of the day, the journey is a long journey, and that's what you got to fall in love with. But at the end of the day, it's an education that you're paying for. You're learning a skill set that's going to be 10 times more valuable here going into the real coming future. That's what you got to stay focused on. If you're not making money, I know you got to pay your bills and everything. That's why you keep a 9 to 5 and you continue to use that as a stepping stone to pay your bills. Have some money to continue to keep investing in your business so you can continue to keep growing it. And at the end of the day, follow that path. Keep enjoying your journey. If you're not enjoying that journey and making time for family, friends, peace of mind, reading a book, man, you're cheating yourself. You really need to be able to use that time right there to work on your business, structure it out, work out, make sure you take care of your health. But that grind, that stuff is great. But at the end of the day, you're gonna get so far down the road that you're gonna see, hey, I was successful, I got all this, but I never got time to spend with my loved ones and they're gone. Or as cliche as it sounds, that's where the real wealth is at, and that's where you need to keep your focus at. So, just a bit of encouragement for y'all out there that's out there, struggling and hustling. I know how it goes. I think for me, it took quite a while. It took about a year, maybe 8 months, to really start really living off of internet marketing. I spent a lot of money, didn't get it back. Built repetitive sites with different products and things like that I thought. And I'm looking back at it now. I didn't think they worked then, but now I know they're perfectly working businesses. It was just aspect of the marketing and a few sales channels that I didn't capitalize on myself that prevented the business from growth. I can go back there and recreate them, and they probably be $1 million businesses right now. But the ones that I have now and what I'm working on now, they're so close to my heart that I enjoy every day with it. So, I think to myself sometimes, when I was in prison, I could never ever just imagine where my life was. There was so much uncertainty in my life. I've been incarcerated for 11 and a half years, and the world had changed on me. I went in at 20 years old and got out at 32. It's like, I don't know what the world's like. I'm living life through other people that's coming and going out of, prison. They're telling me what's going on. I'm getting a little bit of mail, phone calls, and I'm living life imaginatory through all these people. So, to get out and be able to get a job and, still have a vision to where I wanted to take my life, I think that was the kicker. Always having the vision, always knowing where I wanted my life to be, because I always seen my life in a form of how I'm living now. I'm still not where I want to be at right now, but I'm getting closer and closer. And success to me truly is being able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want, and how you want to do it. That to me is success. Of course, having the financial freedom, but having that veritable. I don't. If I'm not in a 100% mansion yet, that's cool. Because at the end of the day, I wake up and I'm thankful for being in my bed. My bed's comfortable as ever. My house is warm. It's cool when it needs to be. And these are the biggest gifts that can be given to man, in my humblest of opinion. Because if you're not waking up in a hospital, if you're not waking up in a prison, you're not waking up on a cold floor or having to beg for nothing, you're blessed. And chances are, if you're sitting around watching this YouTube video right here on internet marketing, you're probably just as fortunate as me, if not more. So at the end of the day, you got to take that in, and that's the real kicker right there, is to be thankful for what you do have, be appreciative. There's an old parable in the Bible that says, "He who is thankful for what he has, even more will be added to him." So it's like a universal principle. But the flip side is, he who isn't, is going to have what he doesn't even have taken from him. Now, if you think about that, how can you take something from somebody who doesn't even have nothing? That's what makes that parable so deep. If you like this video right here, please show some love and hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe and notification button to stay updated for the latest videos. New videos will be dropping Thursday, 9 p.m. Mountain Time, so please stay tuned.